Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event this week on NWA Anarchy. And 7 days from now, Hostile Environment 2007. This match has direct implications on the match beyond War Games. Traditionally, the advantage in War Games has been determined by a coin toss. NWA Anarchy last year started its own tradition with the coin toss match. Last year, the Rejects and Team Anarchy in War Games, it was Tank and Nemesis that competed in the coin toss match. This year, the Rejects and the Elite, and it is the son of Satan, Azrael, a War Games veteran, taking on a man who has been his tag team partner, is another veteran of War Games, no stranger to Hostile Environment in the cage, and not to mention the first ever Anarchy heavyweight champion back full-time is Kory Chavis.
Kory Chavis he headlined the first ever Hostile Environment in 2005. He was in the steel cage, coincidentally, against Michael Adrian for that NWA Anarchy Heavyweight Championship. Michael Adrian was managed by Jeff G. Bailey. Lots and lots of history going into this one. So, I mean, nobody that's going into War Games, save Abomination and Dominus, have been, or have the experience in the cage. Dominus and Abomination are the only two who really don't have that War Games experience, so to speak.
You look at the rosters leading into these two teams. The Devil's Rejects, as a unit, are very accustomed to the match beyond. Jeff G. Bailey has led many variations of the NWA Elite into War Games. Kory Chavis, a veteran of the cage. You have also on his squad, you have Abomination, as you said, a monster, but he's never been in the cage. He has Phil Shatter, a monster that's never been in the cage. You have Jeff Lewis, who has experience inside the steel, but that's two and two without.
Well, Greg Hunter, I mean, we've seen it before. Last year, we've seen Team Anarchy in there with two men with no War Games experience. So, I mean, the thing about it is it's not so much having your whole team experience for War Games, it's just being willing to go that extra mile, to stoop a little bit lower. Now, I said all last year, Anarchy just wasn't evil enough. I can't say the same about Jeff G. Bailey. I've been to the man's house. I have been on cruises with this man. I've hung out with this guy. He's sick, and I like it.
The attempt at the spine split up, countered by Azrael, and now just kneeing the man repeatedly in the chest. These two men, for the record, as members of the NWA Elite, were the NWA Wildside Tag Team Champions together. So they are no strangers to each other. That's what makes this such a unique encounter. These two teams who have been vying for superiority here in NWA Anarchy for the last some 7-odd months, these two factions are no strangers to each other. There are no unknown elements per se. Everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows the most brutal fight you will ever be in is against your friends and your family, and they have been friends and family, both sides, at various points in their careers.
Now look at old Happy Face over here, Dan Wilson, only painting up half the face tonight, going right after Kory Chavis, willing to go that extra mile, willing to stoop down. And I mean, this has been the Rejects' MO all along. But for Greg Hunter, one thing that I was going to point out is, 1 week after Fright Night, Dan Wilson came to Jeff G. Bailey, said he looked up to him. He was somebody that, Jeff G. Bailey helped out in this sport when Dan Wilson first got here to the NWA arena. It was somebody he looked up to, and Dan Wilson felt betrayed because Jeff G. Bailey had made the deal with Jerry Palmer to bring Abyss in for Fright Night. This is what this all stems over. Jealousy, and what Dan Wilson feels is betrayal.
Well, Dan Wilson, at least in my mind, has betrayed the entire sport of professional wrestling with his actions for the last 2 years. And he has recruited an army around him, not the least of which is the son of Satan, Big clothesline on the Soul Assassin. Cover, lateral press, 2 count, says referee Harold James.
You know, Greg Hunter, it makes me sick to my stomach to sit here and think that we are coming up on the 2-year anniversary of the Devil's Rejects being born here in NWA Anarchy. It started at a hostile environment in that very main event with Kory Chavis and Michael Adrian. Dan Wilson, sitting in the very seat that you're sitting in, called that match with me, and I thought everything was hunky-dory. How wrong would I be 2 months later?
That night, hostile environment, just 2 years ago, 2005, saw the birth of what would become the Devil's Rejects. Cover, hook of a leg, 2, and again a 2 count. We said it numerous times, perhaps Anarchy wasn't evil enough to beat the Rejects. A familiar refrain by now, folks, but it warrants being stated again. Jeff G. Bailey is about the most evil son of a gun that's ever been in this building. So that having been said, the guy wrote the book. So you want to see someone stoop to a new level, stoop to a new low. This is a game of one-upsmanship on lethal proportions walking into war games.
Greg Hunter, a good point that was brought up is no other manager in the history of professional wrestling has led more men into war game matches than Jeff G. Bailey. And Jeff G. Bailey has been successful. You know, he's been able to lead his men in there. And I mean, sometimes, okay, he doesn't come out with a better end of the deal, but I mean, the thing about it is the success that he's had in war games, he knows the ins and outs, he knows the nuances of the game. He can actually bring into this war games, but like you said, the question mark is the 2 unexperienced men going into this match. Will it play a factor? I mean, it didn't last year, but we always know things have a way of changing on a dime around here.
They do it that the Soul Assassin is in a bad way at the moment. The Son of Satan pulls him to his feet, looking for the suplex. Instead, sets him up in the high rent district. Azrael going up to the top floor himself. And now, right hand, Kory Chavis, the former Anarchy heavyweight champion, fights back, looking for the moonsault, and catches nothing but knee and a foot in the face from the Son of Satan. Cover, 1, 2, does not hook a leg. That is either fatigue or arrogance on the part of Azrael. He knows Kory Chavis all too well. He should have known that wouldn't be enough.
Well, Greg Hunter, I mean, we have seen the lengths that the Rejects are willing to go to win, to put somebody away. I mean, Azrael set himself on fire. On fire. I don't mean he lit a match. I mean, he set himself on fire. Flames burning everywhere. Why? To put away one of the members of the NWA Elite. Luckily, he was unsuccessful in that attempt. But 1 week away from War Games, we have to think that these 2 men, they don't want to expend too much energy.
Well, they're going to have to expend a great deal of energy to defeat the other. And right there, you see the familiarity of these 2 men. Former tag team partners. Both going for the same moves at the same time. They fought alike for many years. Here in this very building, they fought side by side. So that familiarity is going to have to force one man or the other to change his game plan very quickly or risk defeat and the disadvantage in the match beyond. Kory Chavis with right hands, one after another, reversal of the Irish whip. Azrael brings him up, float back by Kory Chavis, and Kory Chavis plants the Son of Satan on his painted face.
Well, Greg Hunter, you know, that War Games advantage is very, very important because, I mean, you get the first 2-on-1, the first 3-on-2, the first 4-on-3, and then, you know, you go from there. But, I mean, the thing about it is it's more important to go in with 4 healthy men, 4 men who are fully energized and ready, rather than go in there with 3 guys who are fully energized and 1 who could be your weakest link, because he would have had to be the last one in the match.
Azrael hauls him out of fireman's carry, then drops him straight to his back. Cover, and only a 2 count out of that sit-out powerbomb variation by the Son of Satan. Azrael and Kory Chavis both in a bad way. The crowd trying to rally behind the Soul Assassin, one of the most beloved figures in Anarchy history, the man who carried the banner on day number 1, right around 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and now, oh, spine splitter from Kory Chavis. If he makes the cover, the Elite's got the advantage.
Greg Hunter right there. I mean, he just now knows. I mean, nobody's ever doubted.
1, 2, 2. Azrael kicked out of the spine splitter.
Greg Hunter, nobody's ever doubted the amount of fight left in Kory Chavis. I mean, nobody's ever doubted that the man, you know, just fights on and on through injury. And that
whoa. You want to talk about dirty tricks? Jeff G. Bailey got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and Dan Wilson slipped in the staff of righteousness right into the throat of Kory Chavis.
Oh, come on. Harry Jim.
Azrael, the Ted Bundy. 1, 2, good God.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and gaining the double rejects, the advantage of Andre is Azrael.
Whoa. Shaun Timbers picking the bones now. They're trying to make sure that Team Elite walks in with a weakened state. Jeff G. Bailey hitting the back. It looked like he was flagging for reinforcements. They better get out here quickly or Kory Chavis is going to get stretchered out of here.
Greg Hunter 2-on-1 right now. Wait a minute, here comes Jeff Lewis. Here comes Shatter. Going right after Shaun Timbers. Going after Azrael. It's 2-on-2 in there right now. Kory Chavis is in no shape. And to get up and help his comrades.
Well, the NWA Elite, it's 2-on-2 at the moment. They are wreaking havoc on the Devil's Rejects. This is a preview of what's going to happen inside the steel cage June 23rd, 7 days from now.
And how ironic is it, Greg Hunter? 2 years ago at Hostile Environment 1, Kory Chavis went in with a neck injury. Now, how's the condition of the throat and the head after that staff of righteousness right into the esophagus?
The lumber, courtesy of your favorite hardware store, being brought into play now by Bailey and Chavis. Chavis setting it up. Shatter going to town on the sleeper cell. Away from our cameras at the moment, unfortunately, Azrael and Jeff Lewis going at it. Timbers firing back on the Universal Soldier himself. The Rejects apparently gaining back the advantage. Oh, good God. Jeff G. Bailey looking for high ground, and Kory Chavis gets blasted by Dominus, the 7-foot monstrous freak of the Devil's Rejects.
Does he just keep adding more and more skin to that mask, or is it just me?
I have no idea. Dan Wilson in the ring, Jeff Bailey in the ring. They bump.
Oh, here we go. Come on, Jeff.
The two generals in this war are right in front of each other. It looks like they may come to blows right here, right now.
Oh, this is going to be great. Come on, Jeff.
If you're a Las Vegas odds maker, I got 20 bucks on Bailey. They're toe-to-toe right now are the leaders of the Rejects, and Jeff G. Bailey with a right hand to the face of the Rev, and the Rev returns fire. These two men going at each other. Jeff G. Bailey takes down Wilson. They're scrapping it out on the floor.
Greg Hunter, this is great. Come on, Jeff.
Dominus.
Oh, no, Dominus, get your hand. Oh.
Dominus has got Jeff G. Bailey. He's got Jeff G. Bailey. And oh, my Lord, Abomination.
You see him just swat these two guys like flies?
The Elite's 7-foot plus, 500-pound plus human holocaust is toe-to-toe with the monster of the Rejects. Looking for the choke slam is Dominus. Headbutt, headbutt, headbutt. Make it 4. Looking perhaps for the double barrel choke slam Dominus would have been a lot luckier if that table had given way.
Look at that right there.
That table didn't give. I bet you Dominus wishes it had have. Well, Abomination.
If at first you don't succeed,
Well, try
again.
Try again. Abomination. Another, good God. 2 double barrel choke slams. Dominus is prone. Bailey saying chunk him.
That is, you know what? Nobody has been able to get Dominus up off his feet like that. That's awesome.
Dominus looks motionless. The man looks like a corpse.
He does look like a corpse. This is great.
You know, we were worried about the inexperience of certain members of the elite. But as it stands right now, the rejects, it could be hardcore hell revisited and in reverse. It looks like the rejects could be a man down walking into War Games.
Greg Hunter, sweet justice.